Hello peeps and welcome to Kratos Clips. I'm Forrest, I'm here on my alt account. Today I'm going to want to try and show you how to make an outpost, a small outpost, start a base. Now apologies for not posting this one earlier, but due to computer issues I lost the entire amount of footage for this video. So without further ado, let's get going. This is the one I'm going to try and show you how to do. It's a basic 3x3 base. You can make it out of any material. I would suggest not bothering with anything less than stone though, as most of you will realise anything less than stone is too easily smashed to pieces. Inside this sort of sized base you can easily get most of your starter equipment, things like a couple of forges, some storage. I've got a vault here, but bookshelves, large cupboards work just as well. Large cupboards you can get 3 or 4 in that space. Get your cryo fridges, smithy, cooking materials, mortar pestle, fabricator, a couple of beds, fridge, jenny. As I say, you can get pretty much all you need for your starter base within this structure. The nice thing about this, with it being quite a nice, small, compact structure, you can build 3 or 4 next to each other with the turrets on top giving cover fire for all structures. The next tip would be, don't put a generator in one structure, put generators in 2 or 3. That way if anybody destroys one, your auto turrets for all of your structures will still continue firing, giving cover fire everywhere. So yes, to get started, what we're going to do to make everything nicely in line, I'm going to start with placing some thatch foundations just to line things up nicely. So I usually build at least 5 apart, giving you space, but I'm going to do this one 10 wide to give me more room to show you how things are working. 1, 2, 3. I'll do. Let's say this one's going to be quite a way away. This is just really to line it up nicely. What we're going to start by doing is putting down your foundations. As I say, it's a 3x3. This is not rocket science. You're just going to need your 9 foundations. Always carry some spare just in case something goes wrong, as any of you building will testify. Things frequently don't quite go as you wish. All it takes is an earthquake or a slight glitch and something will build in the wrong area. So now that's in place, you can demolish thatch foundations, just chuck it right, so out of the way. We have our base foundation. Now doors can be placed anywhere you want really. I prefer to put them in the middle, but the doors work just as easily at the side. This particular structure here has been put together as more of a breeding area. Chem bench at the back. Just to show that the structures are quite versatile. But yeah, we're going to want to put our door. I think I'm going to put this one dead centre. Put up the door frame. I'll leave placing the door itself actually to last. Grab some walls. Bit heavy, so I'm not going to carry them all. So get your door frame down. Right, now, to get your walls up the sides, it really is up to you how you're going to structure it. I usually like to have one wall, one side, or two, that is completely flat walls. The door side is usually a good bet, because it makes the door frames easier. So I'm going to do the same sort of plan on this one. I'm going to put walls at the sides there. So that we're going to get our sloped roofs in nicely. Now where did I put my crap? There it is. Okay, we're going to get the ceilings on. Don't need the foundations now, let's get rid of those. Now, for these flat ceilings, you don't need many. Let's get the sloped roof on here. Right, I'll say you need at least one wall which is nicely covered to the same height all the way across, because to get your ceilings on you're going to need to attach it to the walls properly. If you don't do it this way, you're not going to be able to get your sloped roofs on properly. Once you've got those in place, you're going to need some more metal walls. Put them on the edges there. Once you've got those sloped walls in place, you can get your roof. Sloped roof. Typical. Please tell me I've kept myself some more walls. Yeah. 1, 2. So without these walls sticking down here, you're not going to be able to place your sloped roof correctly. So let's get that there. And that is your basic outpost. It's quite a nice slide style. I usually like to put a ramp up to the doorway or staircases. Just grab one of them, get the ladder, and I'll show you about placing your generator. Oh, there it is. Right. Now, one tip I found on the videos about placing things like your generators smoothly was to use a ladder. The ladder will allow you to place basically straight. So what I'm going to do, climb onto the ladder, access the generator, and let's just reposition it to get it smoothly in place. Now if I push it too far back, it's going to stick through the walls. This is always a little bit tricky. Right, so I'm going to place it there, run around the back. Is it sticking through the wall? No. Am Am I happy with that? Yeah, go with that. If you do it quick enough, you might still be able to pick up your ladder. I wasn't fast enough. So, having got that in place, you can then start to place your electric cables around the sides if you wish. So, I recommend placing the electric cables first, as once you've got your interior stuff placed, it can be difficult to position the cables around the inside. So, first of all, I like to use the cross pieces to start. We'll go that way. If you've not used them before, these flexible electric cables are fantastic. I cannot recommend using them enough. Basically, all you're going to need to do... I didn't pick up enough vertical cables. All you're going to need to do is use the flexible cables to move around the interior walls. Vertical cables are going to be in the corners of the structure to help keep all of your cables tidy. So let's get the vertical cables in first. Put one in that corner, one in this corner. As I said, once you get something in place there, it starts to be difficult to position, so blow it. That can just go straight up from the Jenny. And one in this far corner here. Right, place your electric outlets at the top. Now, depending on how close you actually get these to the wall, your outlets may stick through the wall slightly, but it just takes a bit of practice, which I obviously need a little bit more of. So we've got our electric cables there. Now, using your flexible cables, it will join these nicely. If you're careful, you can get those cables onto the floor and it won't cause any mess. Now let's shuffle this around the side there. As with most things like the cables and the water system, it's often useful to create it with a loop, so it joins all the way around. That way, if anything breaks, it still powers your entire structure. I was hoping that would reach, but again, for the purposes of this video, I'm not going to complete the loop because I left the cables in the other room and I can't be bothered to go get them. Right, so we've got the electric cables hooked up. You can do the same thing with water. There is a nice water trick if you haven't got a lake nearby, but I'll talk you through that one later in this video. But again, you could do the same thing with water, going right the way around the edges and cover yourself there. Right, let's get the fabricator, fridge, and the essentials for interior. polite, because I like polites. They always look good. Right, now, again, you can use a ladder to position these. Don't leave the fabricator. You can use a ladder to position these to get them nice and level. But sometimes this isn't the best way to do it, as it wastes space inside your interior. So sometimes you've got to just go with your gut and your eye. But it's always good to use the floor to try and level up your structures. That's close. And then just use your left analog stick. Place it as far back as you can get it. And then slowly slide off to the side. Actually, I'm going to go the other side. Just 'cause that's the way I've done most of my other buildings. It doesn't really matter, but right, again, once you place it, there is that small window where you can pick it up again if you need to. It's sticking out the back, so let's pick it up and replace. Right, now as far back was sticking through the wall, so let's just shuffle it a little. That looks better. That looks better. So we've got our fabricator in. Let's get the smithy. Right, that should leave a small gap in the middle there, which you should be able to get your campfire in. And your mortar and pestle. Right, the vault. Positioning your vault or storage. This is this is one of the reasons you can't use the slope roofs everywhere, because the roof ends up too shallow. But this will fit nicely into one of your corners. Again, is it sticking through, or are we clear? Looking okay so far. You're going to want your cryo fridge somewhere. Again, it is slightly too big to go flat against the wall with the roof there, but it's not too far off, so I don't mind placing it in the middle here, really. And we've got your forges. Again, it'll place nicely in between. It's recommended putting close to smithy or vault or somewhere where you can easily just transfer any metal created straight into storage. Fridge, again, slightly large and won't go flat against the wall, but you can get it pretty close. Now for this one, move it as close to this upper ceiling as you can. So we're going to use this little area here to place your beds. I recommend renaming your beds for your specific areas because if you ever need to spawn in your bed and it's been used recently, it's very handy just to type the name of the bed you want into your filter. And let's just put a light up here because we can, and it looks good. It'll keep the place lit up nicely overnight. Right, now for your defences, for your turret towers, your turrets I should say, I will place them up on the roof. You've got 4 nice spots on the roof, perfect for your towers. I would also recommend placing on Aberration, placing a light up there, but on other servers you might want to put an X-plant up there or something, just to help defend. You're going to need your metal ladder to get up onto the roof, and to be fair, I might as well place this door now as well because I'm pretty much finished with the interior. It's up to you where you put your ladder up to the roof. It really doesn't matter too much. I'm going to put it on the interior here more because it's facing the interior of this base. So if you're ever needing to do anything, you can stay within your base structure, still climb on the roof. You've got this nice spot in the middle here just to place your large crop plot. Obviously this is where you're going to need your water, but I'll talk more about setting up the water later. For now I'm just going to throw the fertilizer and the X-plants and the Z-plant seed there, and once that's watered it will grow happily. Just to get things speeding up and going a bit faster, let's throw this canteen in and just get a little bit of water there to get it going. Right, turrets. With the electricals set up in the corners of each area, you shouldn't have any issues with junction boxes reaching these turrets, so you can just place them happily on your roof like so. You can use whichever types of turrets you want. I'm just putting the heavy ones on because they're handy there, and that would be your defence is pretty much set up. Obviously you've got to put bullets and everything in, and we've got to make sure this is irrigated. So that brings us nicely to how to sort out your water. Now if you haven't got a lake nearby, what you can do is set up something like this. All it is one foundation with a metal water pipe intersection in the middle. I've placed vertical pipes going straight up, and you just place water tanks on. These water tanks will fill with water gradually over time. It's slow, but it does fill. So if you've got a base anywhere where there is no water supply, it's worth trying this. There are some areas inside caves, inside Aberration, where it won't work, but get yourself a few of these structures with the water tanks at the back and it will water your plants. Like I say, it'll gradually fill. What I quite often do as well is I'll put a pipe down into the actual structure itself for a water tap. Because there's always times you need to fill your canteen. Now, as I've already got those water structures there, I'm not going to set up a brand new one, but I will use the pipes and flexible pipes to connect my new structure when I remember where I've placed the pipes. I'll do a tap. Oh, it looks like I haven't got any handy. So let's just build some more. Why am I going in saddles? So I do really like these flexible pipes. Right, let's go sort this out. Now you can place it from the top or the bottom. Personally, I'm going to go from the bottom. Let's see if we can get that placed somewhere like there. This is where the earthquakes really mess you up. Just like that. Right, I'm going to put a tap on at the bottom. Now, in theory, that should connect the top also. That should be within range to irrigate your plant up top. I know it sounds a bit daft, but in theory it should work. I say these flexible pipes are brilliant. Let's just keep things as tidy as we can. Once you get down to the floor, you can actually keep things fairly nicely hidden. With practice, you can actually keep most of these things under the floor or inside rocks, making your infrastructure much safer. As I say, I've got all of these structures connected, so all I should need to do is run this right across here. So for so long we've been stuck using the straight pipes and intersections to turn corners and all the rest of it. These flexible pipes, flexible cables, I can't recommend them enough. They are fantastic. Right, I think that's actually connecting to the rest of my system. So yep, there it goes. So I'll just head over here and just double check it's actually connected. Yep, the water's flowing freely. Let's just check it is irrigating. It is irrigated. So that Z seed will grow nicely. Again, we have a generator in there, but you want to connect this structure to the rest of your structures so that the generators are interconnected, and anybody actually trying to trash your base will have to take out pretty much every single generator to stop your turrets working. And that is basically it. If you haven't used these lights before, you need to connect them up to power and then access it to change the brilliance so that it's not too bright inside your structure. With the metal structure on the interior full light, it's got quite a glare to it, so you're going to want to turn your light down. But I hope you enjoyed the clip. I hope you find this useful, and enjoy yourselves, guys. Okay, see you around.